Denny Hamlin, one of the sport's most accomplished drivers, has found himself in the center of an intense storm at Joe Gibbs Racing. Rumors and gossip abound as Hamlin's rage reaches epic proportions. What could have caused such an angry outburst? Join us as we look into the complex situation of Denny Hamlin and his relationship with Joe Gibbs Racing. Don't miss out on this thrilling video full of twists and turns. But before that, please subscribe to our channel and hit that like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. The highly anticipated Alley 400 at Nashville Superspeedway reached an exhilarating conclusion, but for Denny Hamlin, it was a bittersweet affair. As Ross Chastain, his long-standing rival and one of NASCAR's most controversial drivers, celebrated his first victory of the season, Hamlin found himself settling for third place, just behind his teammate Martin Truex Jr. In a surprising turn of events, Hamlin chose to shed light on his dissatisfaction with the Joe Gibbs Racing team and their equipment after the race. Despite leading the pack for nearly 50 laps during the final stages, the 42-year-old veteran voiced his frustrations, attributing his shortcomings to the performance of his number 11 FedEx Toyota. Publicly addressing the matter, Hamlin openly criticized the quality of JGR's equipment, casting doubt on their ability to deliver results. Over the years, Toyota, the world's largest automobile manufacturer, has earned admiration in the NASCAR community for its consistent performance and strong foundation. While Chevrolet and Ford were already established favorites, Toyota has steadily made a name for itself in the sport's history, even surpassing Ford to become the second-best manufacturer this season. Joe Gibbs Racing, with its fleet of 4 Toyota cars, including seasoned drivers Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr., stands at the forefront of its NASCAR campaign. The team entered the race at Nashville Superspeedway with high expectations, with Hamlin being a prominent contender. However, his momentary stint as the race leader fell short when the number 1 driver, Ross Chastain, capitalized on the intense battle between Hamlin and Truex Jr., his teammate. Although Hamlin managed to secure a respectable third-place finish, he wasted no time in analyzing the race and directing blame towards his team's inadequate equipment. In his post-race comments, he expressed his belief that they had a third-place car throughout the entire race, acknowledging that Truex Jr.'s number 19 car was slightly better. Hamlin also recognized Chastain's strong performance at the end, acknowledging the limitations of their FedEx Toyota. With evident frustration in his voice, Hamlin concluded the interview by stating that despite a flawless race day without any mistakes, they simply lacked the speed required to contend for the victory. As a result, he found himself in the 7th position with 512 points, while Truex Jr. retains his top ranking and Chastain ascends to 3rd place following his triumph. Hamlin's sole victory at Kansas remains his standout achievement in the current season. However, Hamlin's recent comments imply a departure from the narrative of Toyota's unwavering success. Seeking to find an explanation for his disappointment, he puts the spotlight on JGR's subpar equipment, suggesting that it hindered his chances of securing a better position at the race. The implications of Hamlin's discontent raise questions about the future of his partnership with JGR and the direction he may choose to take in his racing career. But is it the only reason that Denny Hamlin is frustrated with Joe Gibbs Racing? The NASCAR community finds itself embroiled in a contentious controversy surrounding Denny Hamlin. Again, Hamlin's actions and statements have drawn intense scrutiny from fans, particularly regarding his blame of team owner Joe Gibbs, in light of the recent announcement that a minority stake in Joe Gibbs Racing, or JGR, will be sold to Harris Blitzer Sports and Entertainment, or HBSE, a sports ownership group. Critics have labeled Hamlin a liar and a hypocrite, accusing him of prioritizing his personal interest over loyalty. The fallout from these allegations has reached a boiling point, casting doubt on the future of Hamlin's affiliation with JGR. The controversy surrounding the sale of the minority stake has become a flashpoint for fans, leading to a deep divide and raising questions about the team's direction moving forward. Hamlin, who has been an integral part of Joe Gibbs Racing since 2005, boasts an impressive track record with 49 Cup wins, 328 top 10 finishes, and 47 poles to his name. However, his public blame for Joe Gibbs and the minority stake sale has ignited a storm of controversy within the NASCAR community. Supporters of Hamlin argue that his stance is justified and rooted in the best interests of the organization, while detractors vehemently accuse him of deceit and pursuing his own agenda. In a tweet by Bob Pockrass, Hamlin was quoted as saying, "It's not really good for the organization for sure." As per Bob Pockrass's Twitter post, Denny Hamlin's words regarding the minority stake sale to HBSE shed light on his perspective. Hamlin acknowledged the potential benefits for the organization, stating that it allows Joe Gibbs to divest some of his investments and bring in an investment firm with significant resources. He did not express enthusiasm about the forward-thinking approach that HBSE brings to Joe Gibbs Racing and conveyed his excitement to collaborate with them. However, Hamlin's comments have generated skepticism among fans, prompting them to question his future with Joe Gibbs Racing. Critics argue that Hamlin's defense of Gibbs is a mere facade, suggesting that his loyalty lies primarily with his own team, 2311 Racing, which competes directly against JGR. They accuse him of prioritizing his personal interest and lacking genuine concern for JGR and the NASCAR community as a whole. When asked about the potential impact of the stake sale on his future, Hamlin stated that he did not believe it would affect him. This response has further fueled speculation and raised doubts about his commitment to JGR. What do you think? Are these hints of Hamlin's departure from Joe Gibbs Racing? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click that bell button for more updates. Some fans have even speculated that Joe Gibbs himself might be losing interest in NASCAR, leading him to sell his stake as a preemptive measure before the sport potentially faces further decline. These fans argue that Gibbs is betraying his loyal drivers and supporters, and they believe Hamlin is complicit in order to secure his own future with his sponsor FedEx and his position within JGR. Social media platforms have been abuzz with various opinions and comments reflecting fans' concerns and criticisms. In addition to this, fans have a lot of other reasons to make Hamlin the focal point of the controversy. However, this does not mean that NASCAR experts are going to stop talking about him because many believe he is the sport's new villain. The 2023 NASCAR season has its share of bad guys, and Ross Chastain became known as the Wrecking Ball because of his role in issues and on-track accidents. Steve Letarte, a former HMS crew chief who now works as an analyst for NBC, says that Denny Hamlin, a driver for Joe Gibbs Racing and co-owner of 2311 Racing, has taken over as a rival. Chastain and Hamlin's feud got worse in February at the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum when Chastain spun out Hamlin's number 11 Toyota. This led to a tense finish, with Chastain coming in 8th and Hamlin coming in 9th. As getting even is a big part of NASCAR, Hamlin tried to get his own back at the Phoenix Raceway during the United Rentals Work United 500. In the last laps, he drove Chastain's number 1 car into the fence on purpose. He said that he did this because he was still angry about what happened at the clash. Hamlin lost 25 driver points and had to pay a $50,000 fine because of what he did. Letarte joined Dale Earnhardt Jr. and a lively crowd at Old Red Tavern in Nashville for a special episode of the Dale Jr. Download podcast. Letarte called Hamlin the new villain of the sport when he talked about what he did at Phoenix because another driver seemed to have lost that title. Dale Jr. joked that it took Letarte 5 shows to figure out that Hamlin was the bad guy, making fun of him for taking so long. Letarte got the crowd involved by taking a poll to find out if they thought Hamlin crashed into Chastain on purpose in Phoenix and if he earned the NASCAR penalty. Some people in the crowd agreed with what he said, but others didn't. Dale Jr. agreed with the crowd that Hamlin's punishment was too harsh, which is what is called an overreach. He also said that he didn't like how NASCAR handles penalties, saying that it pushes drivers to lie. Dale Jr. gave the example of how Chase Elliott denied doing anything wrong after he crashed into Hamlin on purpose at Charlotte. Because of what was said on the show, Letarte started to wonder how well NASCAR's penalty system worked and what effect it had on how honest drivers were. Fans and people who work in the business continue to argue about Hamlin's behavior and the penalties that followed. Overall, the controversy surrounding Hamlin's remarks and the sale of the minority stake has intensified the divide within the NASCAR community. Fans remain divided on whether Hamlin's motives are genuine or if he's acting in self-interest. As the debate rages on, uncertainty looms over Hamlin's future with Joe Gibbs Racing, leaving fans eager to learn about how the situation will unfold and how it will shape the future of the sport. So that's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.